So I thought I'd come on and do a longer video on YouTube. I've been called to do a channeled reading for July, for where you are at personally, where the collective is at, and if there's any guidance for us during this month of July, coming into July, okay? If you don't know me, I'm Amanda Santana. I am a harmonic midwife. What does that mean? I work with energy. I work with frequency. I help people to become coherent and in line with theirs so they can step into their highest good and lead from there. Anyways, let's get to it. I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. First, I'm being called to bring in the angelic frequency, which is 4096. So I like to use this when I start to channel in, just to kind of, again, call in my guardian angels, guiding archangels, any other guides out there. But again, this can also help with you to tap in for you. So let's do it. If you'd like, you can close your eyes or just listen in. Okay, beautiful. I'm being called to bring in the first card deck, which is by Kyle Gray. It is the 22 Archangels Oracle. Just to kind of see what archangel is with us for the month of July. I mean, I know our angels are always around us and we can always call upon any of them at any time, but for July, what archangel is with us? Please, Spirit. Ooh, Uriel, learning experience. Take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. Archangel Uriel. I've heard Amanda Ellis refers to Archangel Uriel as kind of like the canary in the coal mine. So going down before. So I love that saying. That's very visual for me. So visualizing Archangel Uriel will go down and seek the path before you to see if it is for your highest good. And so again, even going further, taking time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. So I'm getting that now is not the time to jump into the deep end, even though you think you know how to swim in it, okay? Now is a time to take pause, take a moment to evaluate where you're at. Be really discerning with where your choices are, okay? Because you have choices. We always have choices, even when we feel like we're being backed up against a wall. And that's when I think when we feel that backed up against a wall feeling, that's when we can call on Archangel Uriel, okay? He's that canary in the coal mine. Okay, beautiful. So Uriel is with us. Any others? Yes, one more. Okay. Let's bring another archangel in with us for July, please. Okay. Oh, Metatron. Heaven to earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. Archangel Metatron. Metatron's cube. A beautiful sacred geometry. I'm being called to say that if you would like to, my dog's being called to say something too, down that back corner. If you have got an I don't have a small one at hand, but Metatron's cube. Is it on here? Not really. But if you don't know it, you can Google it. And just kind of, again, taking moments daily where you can look at that sacred geometry and allow the codes of Metatron's cube to activate within you. Again, I'll call on Sir, why am I blanking on his name? David E. Grant. David E. Grant? Richard E. Grant. Robert E. Grant. Oh, Robert Edward Grant. Sir Robert Edward Grant. I can't believe I blanked on his name. Anyways, he's talked about that, like looking at sacred geometry as like a QR code for your mind, for your soul, for your DNA. So taking some time to look at Metatron's cube, I think this month is an important part of our journey. But again, he's all about Metatron, all about the ascension. And we are going through a huge ascension on this planet at this time. So taking notice of where you feel that ascension landing in your everyday life. Certainly as ascension is not just a one-day thing, and people go through a dark night of the soul. I think there's stages to ascension. It's not just one kind of unraveling. I look at it like layers of an onion. You peel back one layer and you're like, whoo, okay, I've ascended. And it's like, hell no, we've got like 12 other layers. So on each layer, you kind of have to go through what you've got to go through, okay? So that can be, for me, I know that there was a layer of my ascension that I really needed to go navel gazing. I needed to sort of sit with myself, sit with my angels, sit in that kind of place of ungroundedness, connecting more up above as opposed to below. I've since then gone into a layer where I've been grounded into the fact that we are on this planet at this time for a reason, and we can't escape it, and we don't need to escape it. We just need to align with our highest good and move forward on that frequency. And when we do that in our ascension path, man, it's golden. It feels golden, okay? So Metatron and Uriel are with us this July. Well, they're with us always, but especially this July for our ascension, for taking time, not moving too quickly in making decisions on things in our life, okay? I'm now being called, Seeds of Light. Seeds of Light Oracle deck. I'd like to get 2 cards, please, in guidance, okay, in where we are going, where we need to go for July, the energy of July. What does it reveal to us? What does it reveal to us? The energy of July. Okay. Ooh, okay. So the first one that flew out is the journey, embracing destiny, courage to walk the path. Okay. That can definitely jump into anything we've just been talking about, our ascension journey, where you're at in it, embracing, having faith that that is where you need to be. Sometimes we think that the destination is where it is, but no, the journey, the 12 layers of that onion is exactly where it is. So embracing where you're at on that journey. That doesn't mean it's going to feel uncomfortable or comfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable at times. And when it does, you just need to be okay with it. You don't have to be complacent with it, but okay with it. For me, I'm kind of going through a place of, I'm really noticing my discernment honing in. And for the longest time, I thought it was judgment. I thought I was having judgment either of myself or others. And I started to then judge myself because I thought of myself as a very non-judgmental person. And no, in fact, what I found out it's a discernment. There's just certain situations and people and places and things that we once maybe resonated with, and now we don't. And so that's not about a judgment, not saying like putting anything down. It's just like, hey, I don't feel comfortable in this situation anymore. I don't feel comfortable in this job anymore. I don't feel comfortable. It's not resonating with me. It's not in my alignment. So I'm going to decide to, step away or move on or release it. So that for me has been a huge journey, and it's been really fucking uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. Because a lot of my old limiting beliefs about, well, you shouldn't let go of that because of X, Y, and Z, or well, if you don't do that, then you don't know. But I'm really in my phase of just leaping, and the net will appear. And once I become aligned with that part of where I'm at on my journey, I have faith. I trust that what is for me will be for me, and what is for, and vice versa. Okay. So the second card that jumped out was embodied wisdom. Stop seeking, trust the wisdom within. Well, that really does go part and parcel with the journey, right? We got to trust our inner wisdom. And that's sort of what I was talking about. Becoming so self-aware that it gets annoying. So self-aware that you're okay with wherever you're at and listening to your inner wisdom. So much of the time we look outward, and we, if someone so-and-so gives me advice about something, then I need to take it, or they're right. No, They don't live in your body. They don't live in your home. They don't have the relationships you have. You do. So really I think this July is really about tapping inward as opposed to looking outward, seeking for it outside of you, tapping inward. And if you have a hard time doing that, that's when you've got your 2 guardian angels, archangels, to call on to help you, okay? And again, staring into Metatron's cube, allowing that to really inform your DNA, your soul of where you need to go next, okay? Beautiful. July is looking good. July is looking very rewarding to oneself, okay? That's how I'll say that. Okay, let's move now on to this deck. This is the Sacred Power Reading cards. And I'd like 1 card from this and 1 card from the other, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. Woo! Divine Consciousness. Look at that. Look at that. Again, on the vein of what we've been talking about. Divine consciousness. There's something bigger than us out there. And when we can connect into that, into our universe, into our source, into our archangels, magic happens, because magic is real. We live in this 3D planet that likes to take that away from us and say that that is not the case. But in truth, we are all fucking magical beings. Okay? So divine consciousness, really connecting into that, allowing that to sort of maybe be your true north for July. Okay, what else goes with divine consciousness? Choices. Okay, look at this. Choices. We all have choices. And even in divine consciousness, there's choices. Okay, you can look at, if you're watching this video, you're definitely probably tapped into your spirituality, into your source, into your angels, all of that stuff. So, we also know that there's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people with a lot of information, and we have choices that what we can listen to and what resonates with us. So really listening into that, okay? Now, I'm not saying that everything is going to be for everybody, right? Like this video might not resonate with you and you're like, nah, not so much for me. Okay, cool. That's cool that you make that choice and you find what resonates with you. But being really discerning on the choices you make, that they are coming from a higher self, a higher space, as opposed to ego or what other people are feeding into your ear. Okay, does that make sense? Beautiful. Well, I think we're ending here, but let's end with that angelic frequency one more time, just to kind of, get it ingrained in our DNA for the day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you around. Have a beautiful day. Let's do this. Namaste.